it's always great to compete versus the best. Me and Kawhi have been doing it for quite a while now, so it's always a pleasure, and it's always fun.
I love watching him play. I just love watching him play. And Kawhi's been able to do, and with the spots that he operates from, are the exact same spots where I like to operate from. The elbow, the mid post, the 1-2 bump, turn left shoulder, fade, turn right shoulder, fade. I love watching those guys play.
He doesn't talk much. He's quiet. Like, how does that land with players?
He shows up to work every day. That's the only thing that matters. That's the only thing that should matter. He comes to work every day. He brings his A game. He comes in and he shows that he can. He's a winner. He's a champion, MVP, Finals MVP. Come on, man.
But 2 years ago, Chuck and myself said this guy's the second best player in the NBA. He's now back to that form, in my opinion. He's doing it all tonight.
I think the challenge with Kawhi is it doesn't look the same. When Steph dominated a game, Kevin dominated a game, Damian Lillard dominated a game, LeBron dominated a game. It does not look the same as when Kawhi is dominating the game. And so it can fool you to just say we can just guard him this way, or we can do this, or, we don't have to put too much focus into him. We still got to, because it doesn't look the same. It's not as pretty. But boy, is it effective.
He just gets it done in his own way. Like I say, he's not flashy. He's not a guy that we look at our superstars today that go out there and give you 1,000 dribbles. He go out there and do stuff in his own way, but he's very effective.
This may sound crazy, but Kawhi Leonard reminds me of Michael Jordan. And I'm not saying, I'm not comparing him to Mike, but if you watch the way he plays, his style, the way he plays the game on both ends, he can have a game that mimics Michael Jordan. He's not all the way fancy. He gets to his spots. He got nice turnarounds, big hands, palm the ball, and on the defensive end, he's probably the best in the game.
He's a regular dude, man. I try to say that. I know that's not a sexy answer, but he's just super regular. He's a great teammate. He's a great friend, and we really enjoy him, obviously, in the locker room. And so he doesn't like talking to you guys a whole lot.
I understand.
He doesn't have social media and that whole thing. And other than that, he's just like the rest of us. So, first week training camp and then seeing him perform at a high level a few times during the season, you get it. You understand,
sure.
What all the hoopla is about with this guy. And the way he's turned it up in his playoffs has been spectacular. So obviously we lean on him a lot, and he seemed to deliver every time. And so it's up for the rest of us guys like myself to just try to support him and help him out as much as we can.
He's not a pass-first guy or really even a passer, but still guys in the leagues have succeeded doing that. Michael, Kobe. To me, when healthy, Kawhi is a top 3 player in the world, the best two-way player in the game. And we're always going to find something to talk about. To me, Kawhi doesn't talk enough, but then Embiid talks too much. You know what I mean? So you got to give and take. But to me, from your superstar, you want to know what you're going to get every single night with them. And Kawhi is averaging, 37 points a game. Locking people up on defense.
Best he's ever played.
Right. He's on another planet right now, too. And I think people forgot how good he was because he sat out that year. But playing against him for so many years in the Western Conference, he's top 3 in the world and hands down the number 1 two-way player in the game.
He's always at his own pace and never seems to get rushed or be in a hurry. He's obviously physically gifted and strong and can get to his spots. But he's become a really good shooter. When he gets even off the dribble, getting to a spot, rising up.
Well, I think that, if he can win this championship, it'll put him right up there with LeBron and KD. I think that Kawhi is doing it on both ends, man. And what we're seeing, too, is a guy, now because of basketball, it's about three-point shooting. Kawhi gets most of his points on twos. But he always get to his spot, and I don't care, even if you beat him there, he's so big and strong, he gonna bump you off and still get his shot off.
He's a great guy. He's just a regular guy, just like everyone. He's just a regular guy like everybody else. He's not this, he's not that. He's just a regular, cool dude.
He's a fun guy.
He's a fun guy.
Michael Jordan didn't pass the ball that much. He passed it to the rim more than he did to his teammates, and he's the greatest player in the world. But I love Kawhi.
Why?
His game is just, he's evolved. He's not just a defensive guy. That's how he started in the league, as being a defensive guy. Now he's showing that he's added his offense, and he looks unstoppable.
Man, he's one of the greats, man. his name is up there, like, you know, with the guys that you know, like, it's amazing to see, like, a guy that, you know, no matter what, always find a way and always elevate his game, and I think for me, it's amazing to watch, and I mean, definitely can learn a thing or two from him. And, you know, I'm just happy to be, you know, on this team and just continue to see him develop, you know, everything that happened to him, and you know, not playing last year and, you know, coming in a lot of talks, but he just always kept his composure, always being himself, and always, you know, play the game that he loved.
I don't see any weaknesses with Kawhi, and I do not see Michael Jordan. I don't know.
What do you see?
I mean, I see just an amazing player, a better version of Pippen. I don't see Jordan. You know, Jordan had shake, right, left, fade away. He has so much charisma.
Oh, yeah.
Fashion. Jordan was just, I don't see that in Kawhi.
You see a grinder.
I see a grinder, efficiency, you know, a Hall of Famer, you know, all that stuff.
How he continues to get better. I think he find ways to come back better each and every year. He's been in the league, and that's the most impressive thing to me. And obviously he does it real quiet because he doesn't say much. But he definitely comes out and competes at a high level, and that's me the most.
He is the most like Jordan that we've seen. Like, there's a lot of great players. LeBron is phenomenal. KD is phenomenal. But not that he is Jordan or anything like that, but he's the most like him. Big hands, post game, can finish, great leaper, great defender, in between game. If you beat him to the spot, bumps you off. And then you add his 3-point shooting. You know, so, you know, I never get in that who's the best player. Right. You know, Magic is the best player. You know, Michael Jordan was the best player, LeBron. But it's that same group.
First of all, it was a complete surprise. When the Spurs drafted him, I was actually upset because Georgie had to leave. And, you know, I didn't know him. I never watched his games in college and stuff. And I don't think anybody knew how good he was going to become.
There's a good look at one of the new Spurs, Kawhi Leonard. And again, as you mentioned, Sean, these young guys, they're going to get a chance to play. And how about Leonard on cue? You can't miss that shot.
Well, me, I didn't know his first name for a long time. You know, when he was first drafted, I was like, okay, how do you say it? What's his name? I had a tendency to forget.
People are talking about him in the reference of Michael Jordan. When you keep hearing, well, a player hadn't done this since Michael Jordan. A player hadn't accomplished this since Michael Jordan. Leo, this guy's playing at a level, and this is the thing. It's been a quiet 30-plus a game. His biggest game was in Game 4. Other than that, he's been a quiet assassin, 30-plus points a game.
And so, you know, where a lot of those guys that I just named are like natural God-given scorers, Kawhi isn't that. You know, Kawhi didn't come into this league as a scorer. Yet he's one of the best scorers we have in the league now. And so it just doesn't look the same, but the results are the same or better. And
because he does it on both ends. That's the thing. Now Durant is clearly a better offensive player, and he's a very good defensive player. But Kawhi is a meddlesome defensive player that he's so tough, he's so strong. You hate going against guys like that.
You think it's Kawhi? You think
in the Eastern Conference?
Yes.
I have to go with Giannis.
Me too. The new Superman.
You just said you're the second best player in the league.
I did that, but
so who's the best player in the league?
Hold on. You asked another question. You said who's the second best player in the conference. That's another question than what I'm talking about.
I said who's the best player in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
But you just said Kawhi was the best player, second best player in the world.
NBA.
I did that, but he
So
asked
who's
a different
first?
question.
Who's the best player in the NBA?
I don't know. It's either between Giannis and LeBron.
What did we say when we were on Family Feud?
Good answer. Good answer.
Chuck, you can't ever confuse me. So
No, you confuse yourself.
Oh, you asked a different, Ernie.
No, if he's the second best player.
I'm talking about apples. He's asking questions about oranges.
Wait, if I got gas, $40 gas, and
I said the man is back to being the second best player in the league, but then you asked another question.
I said, is he the best player in the East?
You didn't ask that. Don't even try to play. You said, who's the second best player in the East?
In the East. I said who's the best player in the East? He's not the best player
Giannis.
in the Eastern Conference.
Well,
it can't be Giannis if you just said second best player in the league.
That's not true.
It is.
No, it's not.
Wait, what is it?
No, it's not.
If Kawhi is the second best player in the league.
Yes.
And Giannis is the best player in the East. That must mean that Giannis is the best player in the NBA.
Yeah, he is.
Then where's LeBron?
And where's KD?
That's why when you asked the question, I said, I don't know. It could either be Giannis, LeBron, or KD.
So he might be 1, 2, or 3.
Exactly, 1, 2, or 3. Chuck. What's all?
Now, Kawhi has a great nickname based on his defense, Claw. If he has a great nickname.
I think he got that nickname because he has some of the largest hands we all have seen. However, his defense is great.